must be Damien. He's probably got some new information about the relic.
Hey, let's see. Listen to me, Kat. Let's try to keep calm. I know all of this is starting to seem like a nightmare, but if they found Damien, it won't take them long to find us too. We can only hope that if we find out something new about the code on the relic, it'll help us work out what these extremists, the Cathars or whoever they are up to. Otherwise, I'm afraid our trip to France could have an unhappy ending.
Joe, I don't want to think that Damien's been hung on that wall in such a brutal way. I've got to call Twinings, even though he's involved in this business, and tell him to go and take Damien's body down from that pool of blood.
Don't worry, I'll call him. You'd better go and find a hotel for the night, and try to relax. I promise you. We'll get the bastard who killed Damien. Up to now, no one knows we're here, except for Alan and Damien. And I'm sure Damien would never have betrayed us for any reason whatsoever.
Thanks, Joe. I know Damien was only someone you met a few hours ago, but I've known him for many years, and to think that...
Don't think about it now. First, we've got to save ourselves, and then we can mourn our lost friends. Be brave. We've still got quite a few things to do before we can go to sleep tonight.
Promise me you'll be careful.
Don't worry, I will be. This telephone box has certainly seen better days. The door is completely stuck. It looks like someone has kicked it in, or worse. I don't think it'd be wise. An old tin of tomato sauce, probably expired. Yuck! This tomato sauce is really expired. What a smell! A tin full of tomato sauce. It's a very picturesque fountain. What a shame. No goldfish. Hey, what's that? Oh, it seems like someone has lost something very precious here. Okay then, you never know what could happen. The most evolved weapon against disease and babies. I don't know why, but around the most beautiful monuments, you'll always find work in progress signs that ruin the atmosphere. Let's have a closer look. Maybe I'll find something useful. A rusty metal bar. Now I really feel safe. It's a bench. Someone has forgotten his newspaper. Why not? They always say that reading is good for you. A good weapon against boredom. This telephone box, the door. See? With a bit of kindness, everything works out as it should. And look what we have here. A phone card with some credit left on it. Hello, Jonathan Danter speaking.
Mr. Danter, what a pleasure. In less than 48 hours, things have become quite complicated. In fact, I haven't had to deal with so many complications in years.
Chief Inspector, I'm not even sure that I can trust you, but right now, I've got no choice. You'll find the body of a man in one of the abandoned warehouses along the Thames. I've no idea who killed him, but I can tell you the murder of the 2 cops who were gunned down inside my uncle's house has nothing to do with me. It was Coletti.
You're making some very serious accusations, Mr. Danter. And why should I believe you? Your fingerprints were on the gun. The best thing you can do now is to turn yourself in.
I know you need proof, and that's why I'm trying to collect some. But now, please, would you send someone to get the body of the poor man that someone killed down at the harbor?
Brown, this is Chief Inspector Twinings. Trace the call I've just received on my mobile and ring me the minute you've got any news.
It's a used telephone card. This statue doesn't seem as old as the rest of the cathedral. The statue has been placed on a small decorated stone column. Wait a sec. Those decorations look more like engravings to me. These strange engravings are some kind of alphabet. It looks as if this stone column could have been used as a stamp or something similar. I have to find a way to send this mysterious sentence to Kat. I could try with a photo of the column, but I don't think the letters would be visible. Done. Now the column is covered with tomato sauce. I'm a genius! Wonderful. A shame it's in Latin. Maybe if I took a photo of the newspaper I printed the Latin sentence on, I could send it to Kat. Kat told me she knows Latin quite well, didn't she?
Hi, kids. Isn't it a bit late to be playing by yourselves in the street?
We're not kids.
Do your parents know that you're not in bed?
It's none of your business.
What are your names?
Mom told us not to talk to strangers.
Okay, sorry then. Can you at least tell me what you're doing out this late at night?
Nothing.
I'm looking for a hotel. Can you help me?
The others say that if you give us some sweets, we can tell you where the nearest hotel is.
Why aren't you all dressed as knights?
Because my mom hasn't finished sewing the other robes.
I don't have any sweets with me, but you can tell the others that I'll give you a kiss if you help me.
The children whisper together for a few seconds. We've decided that you're beautiful enough, and anyway, we are knights, and our mission is to save all maidens in need of help. The nearest hotel is the Maison de Grèce. Follow this road and turn right twice. There's always a free room there. We spend hours in front of it, laughing at all the strange men and the silly women dressed in plastic skirts, with heavy makeup that go in and out.
Maybe it would be better to find another place to sleep. Why is one of you dressed like a Knights Templar?
The children whisper together for a few seconds. We're only going to tell you if you swear that you won't tell anybody else. We are Chartres Knights Templars. Everybody thinks that all the knights are dead, but we're still here to protect the town from awful dragons and nasty witches.
And why are you out so late?
It was Jean-Luc's birthday yesterday, and he's finally old enough to try to finish his knight's training with the last test, the Trial of Courage. This is the only way to become a real Knight Templar.
Shh! Stop telling her everything.
What is the Trial of Courage?
The children whisper together for a few seconds. Jean-Luc has to remain motionless in the darkness inside the cathedral, without screaming, crying, or running away for a whole minute.
In the cathedral? But how do you manage to get inside at night?
The children whisper together for a few seconds. It's the major secret of all secrets. One night, Josephine found out that one of the cathedral's windows is slightly broken. With a little stick or something similar, we can manage to open the window without anyone noticing. Promise you won't tell anyone.
On my honor, I swear.
Hey, miss! Our kiss.
Joe would probably be happy to know that. Okay, I've got to go now. Just try to keep out of trouble for a while, okay?
I'm almost certain this is the window Kat was talking about in her message. I can't do that. There's too much light and someone might see me. Wait a sec. Those decorations look more... You've caught me. I've always had a passion for stones. A legendary stone. Bye-bye, condom. Not even a young Boy Scout could have done better. Perfect. Now I can move around without being seen. I'm almost certain At least if Warren decides to fire me, I've got a future as a burglar. The little stick got broken, but with a bit of experience, you never know what I could manage to do. It looks like a labyrinth made of marble. An altar with a beautiful wooden box in the middle of it. And here it is. These should be Mary's robes. Maybe these will finally help me solve the mystery of Uncle Frank's death.
What would make someone violate the house of God in that way?
Father, I'm not a thief.
But it only takes a second to become one, Mr.
Danter. My name's Jonathan Danter.
Danter. Are you by any chance Frank's nephew?
I see my uncle was famous in Europe. It seems that everyone knew him. What have you to do with him?
I heard about Frank's death on the news. I'm really sorry. I'm Father Dominique, and I was a good friend to your Uncle Frank.
Did Frank ever mention me when talking to you?
I knew that the only person that Frank really loved was his nephew. But he also told me he had to renounce to meet him. Frank often talked with me of how difficult it was for him to never see you again. But he was also happy to know you in a safe place.
And the only way to protect me was to feign his death? Telling the little boy that his uncle, one of the most beloved of relatives he had, was dead?
He told me it was the only way to be sure that you wouldn't have been in danger.
Uncle Frank was a man full of ideas and resources. He surely could have found another way to protect me, without having to lie to me and the entire world.
Maybe you're right. But I believe Frank's main reason for disappearing was to protect you from himself.
Protect me from himself?
Exactly. One of the worst fears Frank had was that you would have followed him. He did everything he could to keep you out of this world full of danger, treachery and betrayal. But alas, the ways of God are infinite, and here you are, trying to continue what Frank's death has left unfinished.
The only true memories I have of Uncle Frank are those short summers I spent with him in London when I was a child.
What a shame, my child. Frank was a really great man.
Yes, he surely must have been. So many years. Wasted. And now the only thing I've got is this pocket watch he left me a long time ago.
In those years that you call wasted, you became who you are now. And maybe they have drawn you near Frank more than he ever could have done. In your eyes, I see his strength. His wit. Don't worry, my child. Frank now watches over you more than ever before.
When did you and my uncle meet for the first time?
It was many years ago. I remember the days when Frank lived here as if it was yesterday. We immediately became good friends. And like all good friends, we love to discuss. But please tell me, my child, what brings you here?
Uncle Frank knew something extremely important, and someone who discovered this secret wants to know everything about it. This murderer is killing everyone who could have any information about this story, and I'm not even sure of knowing what they're looking for. A corrupted policeman has killed 2 of his colleagues in London and has charged me for the murders. He has also sold the names of Frank and all his collaborators to some crazy psychotic assassin. That maniac is killing them, all of them. The only chance for me and my friend is to find out the secret Frank had discovered. Then, if we're lucky, maybe we find a way to get rid of all this mess.
I heard some disturbing news about mysterious deaths, but I really didn't imagine this problem was so extended. Because of my great friendship with Frank, I'll help you in every way I can. Now tell me, child, why were you looking for that relic?
I've got evidence that proves that this relic could be related to Frank's investigations. I found a piece of Mary's robes in Frank's flat.
If Frank has torn away a piece of Mary's robe, all this story must be really important. I'm sorry, my child, but the relic we have here isn't original. It's just a copy. Not many people know that during the terrible fire in the town in 1194, the Knights Templars took the original and hid it in a very secret place.
And do you know where this place is?
I know it's in Rome, with hundreds of other original relics, but I don't know precisely where it's kept. I can only tell you that many ancient books tell the story of a Knights Templar group that took it and traditionally hid it in a secret place that only the most wise and courageous men could enter.
Are you in charge here?
not really. Actually, the person who's in charge here lives on the higher floors. But if we want to talk earthly, yes, I'm in charge here, though only spiritually.
Are there many cathedrals named Notre Dame like the famous one in Paris?
Actually, it's a quite common mistake to think that there's only one Notre Dame. Notre Dame are simply the French words for Our Lady, and they obviously refer to the Virgin Mary. As you can imagine, there are a lot of monuments and buildings around the world that have been built to honor Mary, and many of them have their names accompanied by the words Notre Dame, especially in France.
Father, have you ever heard of the Imago Sanctissimus? Some people say it holds the meaning of life.
Many years have passed since the last time I heard that name, and I notice that nothing has changed. Listen, my child. The meaning of life cannot be found in a relic or in a monument. The meaning of life is everywhere, around us, in trees, in animals, in the eyes of those near you. I'm old, probably older than you think, and I've seen many people throwing away their lives, searching for the meaning of life. Poor people who never managed to understand that the meaning of life is in front of every one of us. You only need to stop a second, open your eyes, and look around you to understand what the true meaning of life is.
What's that labyrinth I saw on the floor in the center of the cathedral?
Many intellectuals have passed years studying that labyrinth. But ironically, they lost themselves in there. In the center of the labyrinth, you can see a rose. It's a symbol that can be found in many cathedrals. It symbolizes the constellation Virgo. And as you may know, the name Virgo comes from Latin and means virgin. But what's most special about this labyrinth is that every 15th of August, the day when we celebrate Mary, a sun ray enters the cathedral through the rose window that represents the Virgin Mary and ends precisely on the rose on the floor.
Maybe next year I'll be here for the 15th of August then.
It would be useless. Because of the precession of the equinoxes, nowadays the sun ray passes through the rose window on the 20th of August.
It's really incredible what human intellect can do.
More than intellect. I'd call it passion and devotion to God. Anyway, if you're interested in these subjects, you'll be happy to know that nearly a century ago, a famous Egyptologist named Schwaller de Lubisch studied the proportions of the labyrinth and found out that the proportions are exactly the same as the ones of the most complex ancient Egyptian temples. It seems that inside this labyrinth, secrets of an ancient Egyptian sect could be hidden too. One thing is for sure. The Templars knew how to inculcate fear and curiosity to mankind.
Thank you, Father. Your words have been wise and encouraging, especially in this difficult moment. I really have to go now. It was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for all your help. If you find some tomato sauce on one of the columns outside of the cathedral, please don't be cross.
Wait! Where are you going?